What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Scores! He did it again!
I just killed him. Before the game, I just killed John Madden because of a stink bomb.
Split special teamers, and now Brown is off to the races. Hurdles, kicks him in.
Giants are coming off a worse week than Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, that was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
Game's over. Game is finally fucking be over.
Ed, you got to turn your mic on. I think. Got his hand on the button.
And now, our feature program.
Do you still hear it?
Hey, everybody. How you doing tonight?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Don't worry about Nate, guys. He's having a little rough time over there.
This podcast is solely about Nate trying to fix his camera.
Yeah, I decided to mute myself so you all don't hear me swearing as much.
Yeah. He's going to have to hit the mute button a couple of different times, I'm willing to bet.
The beep.
The
Beep.
the stupid
Beep.
damn
Beep, 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 beep,
battery
beep, beep, beep.
ejection thing fell out,
Oh.
and then the stupid screw part that would plug into the little stand here.
Beep.
Where the heck that thing went off to?
Nate's going to spend all day tomorrow trying to find all the stuff that he lost by taking apart his camera. Anyhow, we have Chris back with us because the Ohio State game is not playing tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Nope, there's more important football on tonight.
Yes, there is professional football on tonight.
No, it's not, because it's the Bucks and the Cowboys.
Well, it's the official kickoff.
You're saying there's one professional team playing a team that's trying to be professional.
Yeah. One team playing a high school team.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm glad that the Buccaneers have a chance.
And,
so you're saying there's a chance.
And Smitty's in a car somewhere between here and Tennessee.
He should be on the other side or halfway through Ohio at the least.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. He's only got another 8.5 hours to go. Maybe 9. Hey, Smitty's watching. Are you YouTubing, texting, and driving?
Hopefully he's doing talk to text.
Probably.
Don't blow his spot up. Come on.
Jeez.
Watch out in Ohio. They tend to pull you over.
We got a narc live on the air right here.
Well, Nate, I just said somewhere.
I would say if a cop's watching it, then they're not doing their jobs either.
But what if they're just sitting in park waiting for a car to drive by?
If they're watching us, at least we got another viewer.
And say it's a slow night.
Yeah.
It is a Thursday night in Ohio, so
everyone's already at the bar watching the game. They got some time to kill.
Yeah.
The Browns aren't playing. That's the only team that matters in Ohio right now, right?
Yeah, just about.
The Bengals are on the rise. Come on.
The Bengals are getting better. He says, I'm hands-free. So is Nate most times.
I know. So I was scrolling through Facebook News, and apparently a zoo named a giraffe after Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And I kind of glossed over the giraffe part, and it said that Joe Burrow died. And I was like, how the hell is this not more news? Like, how did he die? Like, there isn't candlelight vigils everywhere. And then I reread it, and it said giraffe. And I was like, oh, all right, I overreacted just a bit.
You're like, oh, that makes sense now.
Apparently he's at a drive-through. So what are you getting us, Smitty?
It'll be cold by the time it gets there. Don't worry.
And the ice will be melted fully.
Oh yeah.
You'll be fully iced, fully water and soda mixed.
Fully watered down.
I would
do something
go down
nasty
on
for
a hot dog for some Southern sweet tea right about now, though.
Some real sweet tea.
Yeah.
Nate, you want a pocket dog? Is that what you're saying?
I would take a Nathan's Frank to the mouth for a good sweet tea.
Come visit. It's everywhere down here.
I know. That's like one of the best parts about the South is the sweet tea.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've had it once since I actually moved down here.
I don't drink tea.
I drink a lot of iced coffee.
Technically, Chris, you're not from the South.
I'm not. I'm
Ohio and stuff is not the South. That's the Midwest.
He's from the far South right now.
Yes.
Well, he's from Illinois.
Yeah, and that's technically the Midwest.
Yeah.
All right.
First to be a Bears fan.
All right, so Chris, you want to get into your college because Jeremy tried to do it last week and he was so on it.
Hey, I had no background information. I was just shooting from the hips.
Yeah, I just kind of threw some like headings up there and hope that maybe you could kind of run with it.
We tried to. Smitty helped out a little bit, but it wasn't as great as when you're here because you can have a lot more information. And I'm like, Jeremy, you moved to college country. You need to start learning this stuff.
I don't need to learn anything. Most of the people in this area aren't from here, so it's okay.
Very true. All right, so last week, opening week of college football, a couple big upsets. I wouldn't necessarily call the Clemson-Georgia game a big upset. However, I mean, Clemson, hasn't lost in quite a bit, at least not a regular season game. So they lost to Georgia 10-3. The only touchdown was a defensive pick six. So, yeah, not a very exciting game. And then North Carolina lost to Virginia Tech. North Carolina was actually one of the favorites to win the ACC. So now, since Virginia Tech won, we'll see what happens.
Only touchdown scored in the Clemson-Georgia game a defensive score?
Yeah, it was a pick six.
Wow.
Yeah, so between two offenses, no one scored a touchdown. And I heard that their defenses aren't that caliber of defense.
I heard that the NFL is in talks with both of those teams to be a New York team.
To take over for the two New York teams?
Possible.
At least the green one.
The green one? The
Apparently.
GETS?
The GETS?
ETS?
All right, so
treating you there, Chris?
what?
How showing your real Midwestern education with the GETS?
Yeah.
No, a few years ago during the draft, an ex-player for the Jets called it out as GETS.
Totally forgot about that.
Come on. Chris, I got
we even titled it that 1 week.
I was confused with what Nate was trying to get at. I'm like, what?
I know. We even titled a show the GETS.
Did we?
Yeah.
Nate doesn't remember. All right, so the big shakeup in the rankings in the top six. So Bama's still at 1. Georgia jumped from 5 to 2 with that impressive win. OSU won against Minnesota, so they moved up to 3. Oklahoma won, but almost lost to who was it? Tulane. Almost lost to Tulane. So they dropped down to 4. Texas A&M is at 5, and Clemson dropped from 2 to 6. My question to you guys, they're a 0-1 team. You have undefeated still in the top 10 that are behind Clemson. How do you feel about, that?
I don't like how the college does their rankings because if you're 0-1 and there are teams that are 1-0 behind you, it doesn't make much sense. And really, if you're 0-1, you should be behind anybody that hasn't lost.
Right. Like, I understand that they're going, okay, well, that'll be their one loss for the year. They'll go on and they'll stay. But, there's a lot of teams that, like, I'm going to use Ohio State as an example. Ryan Day, they're like, we have to win every game because they know that if Ohio State loses a game, they're like, if Ohio State would have lost, given it was to an unranked team, if they would have lost, they would have dropped out of the top 15.
Oh, yeah.
So Ohio State could lose to the number 12 team or next week, and they'll drop from 3 to probably 10, 11, So we'll see. Some of the games to watch. What's up?
My opinion is that they shouldn't be ranking these teams at least 3 or 4 weeks in.
I agree. So, and with that, this is the AP poll, so it really doesn't mean anything because once the college football playoff comes out after week 9, that's the poll that matters. So, but typically the college football playoff poll does kind of mirror the AP pool. Because most of the people that are on the football playoff also vote in the AP. So, games to watch this week. Kansas versus Coastal Carolina is intriguing because Kansas won this week, and obviously Coastal Carolina is pretty good. So, I'm kind of wondering, is Kansas going to have one of their weird years where they win some games? And then obviously number 3 Ohio State versus number 12 Oregon. It's in Columbus, so I think Ohio State has a better shot to win this week. They also have potentially both of their starting corners back, which I think will help. And I think, first game jitters with a new quarterback are kind of out, so I think Ohio State will surprise some people this week. And then Iowa versus Iowa State, in-state rivalry, and I don't remember. They're ranked right next to each other, but I don't remember the exact ranking.
Does the ranking really matter?
Not really, because I think they're like 15 and 16, something like that. So, but it should be a good game. Iowa looked really good last week, so we'll see what happens. No big scandals, no big anything. Unfortunately, Nate's Raging Cajuns did lose to Texas. They didn't pull up the upset this year, but they didn't look bad. So I have a feeling they're going to probably end up winning most of their games this year.
Well, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that the game was playing on national television.
Mm-hmm. They didn't look bad. I caught bits and pieces of it. They didn't look too bad.
They also didn't look too good.
Yeah, I mean, they're also playing Texas, who didn't look bad either. But
no, Texas looked pretty good, and after the second half, they just kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, it was a game for most of the first half. They
lost it behind the
the Cajuns could have came back, but
Yeah, it's once the second half started, it seemed like Texas came out ready to play, and the Cajuns kind of not our day.
Yeah. So.
But in the next few weeks, I might start watching some USC and some Texas Longhorns, I think.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? In Clemson games. Some of the neighbors are college fans, so.
Yeah. After this week, I think we have one, maybe 2 more weeks of all these kind of meh games where people are playing, I think Alabama plays Mercer or something this week. Alabama's third string's going to play most of the
Is it Mercer something you get from dirty locker rooms?
That's Mercer.
Yeah, and usually you get that from hospitals, actually.
Huh?
Usually you end up getting that from hospitals.
So I just remembered hearing the word at some point in time.
Yeah, because Mom gets it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I mean, that's really it. It's kind of a quiet week. Nothing crazy because we're still in those, like I said, those kind of blow-off games for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So until we start getting into actual conference play, that's when things kind of start to heat up, and then you'll start seeing these big numbers get put up, and you also see kind of, how much depth these teams have, because you'll start getting some of these guys getting hurt, getting beat up, and we'll kind of see where they go from there.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been trying to get prepared for a think tank real quick. And
if you don't have one, it's no big deal. But we got a bunch of NFL stuff to talk about.
I got something. I'm bringing it now.
Bring the thunder.
Need to write your initials down right quick so I can keep score.
Well, that's what I do in the dock.
Do you keep score?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for heck yeah!
I make your life easy because Jeremy's putting right after my name. Will he ever win?
That just shows
my answer is probably
that
not.
Nate doesn't actually open up the dock.
Actually, what's funny is I had no idea what the hell that meant. I was like, all right, well, I don't know what this is, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it here because it seems like that's what I should do.
Yes, that is so that way when we're playing the game, I just put a 1 next to each one of our names when we get one right. That way it's easy to count.
Well, since you're so damn smart,
and unfortunately, because Chris wasn't here last week, Jeremy won.
So I have the top 28 most frequently purchased food items, and there's mostly food and souvenirs from football games.
So no drinks.
There are drinks on here, but you don't say like Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, Corona.
You just
like,
see beer.
Okay, so we're saying beer's one.
If it's on this list, beer is one.
Okay.
Correct. And I already looking at this list like it's a bunch of bullshit because there is, from what I can see, no beer.
Really?
So, I'm guessing this is the family-friendly list.
Yeah, because beer has got to be the most bought item at any facility, whether it's Bud Light or
Coors
Light.
Or beer.
Yeah.
You know.
Just any beer.
All right, Travis. What is your first guess?
I'm going to guess hot dog.
Hot dog is number 3.
Oh, what
Well
are we
done.
doing? The top 10 or top 15?
I'll give you the top 20.
Okay.
I'm going to go with French fries.
French fries. Hang on, let me Google that. Or not Google, but you know what I mean.
Search it.
French fries at the number 20 spot, Jeremy. You just squeaked it in. Chris.
Nachos.
Excellent guess. Nachos with cheese, number 5.
He didn't say with cheese, though.
I don't know. With cheese, because what are nachos without cheese?
Tortilla chips.
I'm going to go with hamburger.
Hamburger. I am not seeing hamburger on this list at all.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to go with pretzel.
That's a good guess.
That is a
Pretzel.
good guess.
I am not seeing pretzel.
Wow. Chris can take the lead.
I think Nate's list is broken.
I mean, it very well could be.
Most of Nate's lists are broken.
Oh,
I'm going to go
Very true.
Shut it.
popcorn.
Popcorn. Popcorn is the number 1 item purchased, apparently, at sporting events or football events.
I am going to go with the candy that's whipped, and it's like foam. Not foam, but cotton candy.
Can I
That's
help? I was like, can I help him, please? Because I'm going to cry if he doesn't get this.
I want to see how long he was going to go. The candy that's whipped.
Well, technically, it is whipped.
Oh, apparently I have
blown.
top 29. So, you said cotton candy, right?
Yes.
Cotton candy is not on this list.
All right,
so
I
apparently
know
there must be
your
some
list.
stadiums that don't sell cotton candy.
I'm
Everywhere
going to go
sells
with
cotton.
peanuts.
Peanuts. Excellent choice, especially when you're drinking beer. That is number 2.
This sounds like a baseball list.
You sound like a baseball list.
Well, hot dogs were on there,
This
but
sounds like one
hamburgers
of
weren't.
Nate's-
And cotton
this sounds
candy
like one
wasn't
of
on there,
Nate's
but
standard
peanuts were.
broken lists.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a bad list for finding it really quickly.
All right,
You said
Chris.
there's also souvenirs too, right?
I sure did.
I'm going to go with a jersey.
Nope.
Yeah, this list is broken as shit.
There's
Maybe I'm gonna go with the foam finger.
foam finger. Excellent guess is number 4.
Yes.
Yeah, this is definitely a baseball list.
Yes.
Yeah.
It started to fit. Well, actually, it could be a basketball as well. But one of the examples said Antonio Brown on it. So
I'm going to go with a program.
program. I never in 100 years would have guessed program because nobody buys programs.
Is it on the list?
It is not on the list. You're reaching. Stop being so like. Think simple.
Soda or pop.
Cans of cola is number 7, which again, I don't think I've ever seen cans of cola at a football
No,
event
usually they're
or any
plastic
sporting
bottles.
event.
You're
They,
gonna
they won't do that anymore. They don't allow any kind of somewhat closed containers.
The better question
Actually,
is,
when I went to
how
the
old is
Patriots
this?
game, they gave me cans of beer.
Real? Oh yeah. Really? No. Usually it's just plastic bottles.
I got a can.
Really? Trying to think of what we haven't guessed already.
I do agree with you folks that this isn't a great list.
Yeah, no, because
Honest,
anything.
I'm looking at some of these things. I'm like, number 14, I've never, or 15, I've never seen.
Dough, fried dough.
Or funnel cakes,
Yes.
if you're from other parts of the country, is number 18, Travis. Well done.
I'm going to say a hat.
Hat, caps with team logo, is number 13. See? You're thinking simple.
Corn dog.
Corn dog, number 19. What's the score?
Right
Where are we
now,
at?
me and Journey are tied at 3, and Chris has 4.
All right, we're going to go one more time around.
All right. We got soda. We got. There's no beer on this list. Corn dog. A hoagie.
Is that that's a
what
grinder,
else?
right?
Yes, would
grinder
be also known
sub.
as a grinder
hoagie.
sub.
Hoagies and grinders. Hoagies and grinders.
Navy beans. Navy beans.
Not on this list.
So wait, was the one Chris chose a canned beverage? Is that how it's classified on the list?
No, it says cans of cola.
Okay. I don't know if there's going to be bottles of.
Maybe, you never know unless you guess.
Bottled beverages.
Bottled water is number 6.
All right, Chris, to take
Your list sucks.
Yeah, to take the win, all you have to do is get this last one, Chris.
Yeah. No pressure. No pressure.
And then you beat Jeremy again.
No whammies. No whammies. No whammies.
Come on, buddy, you got this.
Candy? Is it just like generalized candy? Or is it like more specific?
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
So you need to make a choice.
Candy bars.
Candy bars are not on this list.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right,
Well,
so we
Jeremy
have
and Chris are tied at 4.
yes. Okay. Jeremy,
Nate.
take a guess. We can't end this on a tie.
Let's go with
First one to get wrong loses.
ice cream.
Ice cream is number 29.
Well, if Chris doesn't get it on the list at all, does that mean I win?
Yeah, that means you go again. Though that's a good way to kind of think about it, though.
Yeah.
Come on, Chris, get something.
One of these items,
Is
I
not like the other.
cannot believe Chris has not guessed. I know. You're looking at me like I got a wiener out of my forehead, but
You do.
You didn't notice it?
yeah, it's this little guy right here. Wait, that little thing right there.
I thought that was just your horn because Smitty was on his
Because
way.
I know they don't sell cigarettes at stadiums, so that's why I was like, wait.
Nope.
Pizza.
Pizza would be a good guess, but no. Come on.
So I guess Jeremy wins. His was at least on the list.
Are we going to go with that rule?
Yeah, we're gonna go with that
This
rule.
was on the list.
All right. So,
We're done
what
with
is
this list.
So what is this that you say that you can't?
well, I'm going to give you guys the top 20 according to this janky ass list here. 20 was French fries, 19 corn dogs, 18 funnel cake, 17 thunder sticks.
Oh, yeah,
What's
those
a thunder
clappy
stick?
things.
Yeah, they're
What is
little
this, a
plastic
soccer
tubes.
list?
Hockey does those.
So does basketball. 16 is pennants or pennants.
Oh, the triangle
Little
things.
flags.
Yeah.
Those are
15
more for baseball.
Yep.
15 is lollipops. Like, have any of you ever seen a lollipop at any sporting event ever in your life?
No.
I haven't. I usually only see lollipops at banks. 14 was beef jerky. 13, which you guys got, was caps with team logo. 12 is hoodies with logo.
I have never seen them sell beef jerky at a sporting event.
Yeah, neither have I.
Me either. I mean, I would imagine at maybe like Chicago,
Little League, maybe.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, or Green Bay, Minnesota. Those three, I would say beef jerky. 11 is T-shirts with logo. 10, which is the one that I would have thought Chris would have gotten, is barbecue steak or sausage. Being from Illinois, how I figured brats and sausages are just as popular there as they are in Wisconsin.
Italian beef.
No.
That's what we get. So
chocolate cookies, hot chocolate. Then you got 7 canned cola, 6 is water, nachos and cheese is 5, foam fingers is 4, 3 is hot dogs, 2 is peanuts, and 1 is popcorn.
about 6 of your top 20 makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they even have like 23 is football trading cards, 22 is bobbleheads, 21 is used game gear. So
Interesting.
yeah. I mean, I thought this list would have been way better, but the more we went into it, I was like, yeah, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I contributed. Yay.
All right, so what do you want to get into first? The numbers?
Oh, yeah, we can go into that. So it has been mentioned, I know, on a particular radio program on a specific satellite channel, that whenever Jeremy pops on, I have to come off because he can only do one device at a time.
Yeah, and then he'll try like 4 times in a row.
I stopped doing it. I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'm just gonna. He's being great. He's being so generous to let me borrow and use this privilege. I'll just make sure I listen whenever I know that he's probably not going to listen, and then he listens when I don't think he's going to.
Oh no, it's fine. It's if you're on, I'll just kick you off. I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's well within your right, sir, to do so. So they were talking about the number changing, and for those that haven't been following the NFL during the off season, the NFL decided that there really isn't much restriction on numbers and what player wears what number. And
except for the linemen, it seems like.
Yeah.
So the reason behind that is it helps the officials designate who's eligible and who's not. So that is the NFL's reasoning behind still limiting the linemen's numbers.
I like it. I did not know that, and that's good
so
to know.
the lineman can only have certain number range, and no other player on the field can have in that range. Offensive lineman, that is.
Right.
So that's why it gives them a quick point of reference for eligible, ineligible receiver kind of thing.
Well, that may help the refs, but what doesn't help most particular quarterbacks is the fact that they could have played a team last week and a certain cornerback's number could have been 27 and now it's 4.
Yep.
And the argument is, why are these players allowed to change their numbers up into the regular season?
Well, no, I thought once the regular season starts, they're not allowed to change them anymore.
I believe you with that, but so let's say, if Patrick Chung was playing, what is he, 28?
23.
Okay, so he's 23 on the last game of the of the preseason game, and now he's deciding to wear 4.
Yeah, but that happens. A lot of players change numbers when it comes from preseason to regular season.
Does it?
Yeah, because they have a lot of duplicates and whatnot. Because they have that 80-something 90-man roster, and depending how many spots at each position, it kind of breaks down how many available number ranges there are. And some teams just give all the rookies just a generic number, and then once they make the team, they give them actual numbers.
Yeah.
Because you got to think everyone who's already been on the team still has the number from last year and whatnot. That's the number they want. And anyone who doesn't going to make the team, now all those numbers are now available. So instead of having these rookie chooses numbers that are more limited, they wait till, okay, these are the cut down, these are the available numbers, which ones do you want, kind of thing.
So essentially, the argument right now is that quarterbacks and defensive players and whatnot are getting used to players with specific numbers. So if they know they need to watch out for 25, look out for 25. Now 25 isn't on the field. It's now number 18.
Yep.
I feel like, and I don't want to put words in you guys' mouths, but I think you might agree that this should have been a decision made in preseason or in the, before the season starts. Like, hey, declare your number. This is your number, and that's what it is. Unless, like Jeremy was saying, if your number was somebody else's and they didn't make the final roster, then you can change your number to that number. But that's the only exception to that policy. Where are you guys' stances on that?
I'd say it shouldn't really matter. I mean, you don't really pay attention. Yeah, the numbers help identify players during the plays, but let's face it, most of these players play each other frequent enough. I mean, there's 3 teams every year or 4 teams every year you play that you haven't played. You don't normally play the 4 out of division games.
Yeah.
So besides that, the rest of the teams, you pretty much know who's on these teams. At least the bigger name players, the more watch out for players. And let's be honest, those players aren't going to be changing their numbers as frequently because they're already predefined. That's their number. They want to keep their number.
True.
So the crying about it is kind of a moot point when you're most going to have the non-really impact players changing numbers.
Chris, do you have anything that you want to contribute?
He agrees with me.
Yeah, I don't follow pro that closely to notice that somebody changed their number unless it's like Jeremy saying one of the big impactful players, so those guys probably aren't going to change their numbers like Jeremy said. So I think, within reason, don't change it 4 times, or like every year you're changing your number, but
yeah, it'd be expensive if you're a fan of a particular player and you want to own every jersey of theirs and they change it every season to a different number, then you're just spending wasteless money on nothing important.
Or it's a good way I see the NFL kind of pushing the bigger name players to change the numbers, trying to boost jersey sales back up, going, oh, this person hasn't really been selling much jersey numbers because he hasn't changed teams in a long time. He hasn't changed numbers. Well, now you change numbers. Well, now everyone wants the new number.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of situation.
Like that.
Yeah, but then the current team is going to have a mass supply of existing jerseys that now they have to offload at a discounted price.
True.
Or class size vintage.
Yes. As long as they can't change numbers once the season starts.
Yeah.
It's what it is. But if this is like something they can change throughout the season, it's kind of a dumb rule. I find myself thinking. Because then it's just like, no, you shouldn't, once the season starts, you're stuck with that number. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Looks like Nate's going to the potty.
I gotta go, I got a friend.
Got a friend? I don't see him.
Okay. There we go.
Oh. Why do you
a
have
little
a moth?
Maureen just let Bandit in.
All right. Well, take care of your mom.
I'm going to go let him back out.
All right.
Everybody's disappearing.
I know. It's just me and you, Chris.
And then there were 2.
I don't know where Nate went. He usually says he has to go poop. Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Sorry about that. It got hot as hell in here, and I had to turn the fan on. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, did all of a sudden you have to go poop? Did a random poop show up?
Oh, no. If that was the case, you would have saw my little bathroom sign, and it was just a momentary. I needed to go turn the fan on because it's so hot in here.
Well, Jeremy had to go let a moth back out.
Jeremy just go off camera to check in on me or something?
Yeah. He
I
went to
had
go
a
check
moth
you.
that landed on my watch. It was like walking around my whole watch. But I got to the door and it flew off, so I don't know where it went.
It's on the TV now. All right, so let's get into
No, that's a commercial.
So let's get into the rest of the NFL stuff I've looked up to this week. So we all know Nate is tired of talking to him, but tonight brings another milestone for Tom Brady as well. His 300th career regular season start. He became the first player in the NFL history to hit that mark. Are you guys surprised that he was the first to hit this, or that no star has started this many regular season games?
I'm not surprised. I mean, the issue is the only other players that usually play this long are kickers, and they don't get credit for starts.
True.
So as everyone knows, the average NFL career is 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you've had some players that have played into their 40s, maybe a little longer, but very few play till 44, and very few actually start past the age of 40 every week.
Yeah.
So.
True.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, the thing that surprises me is his longevity, still being able to do it. The fact is that he starts every week. It's just because that's who he is. I mean, that'd be the same thing if Aaron Rodgers played another 7 years.
Yeah.
He'd be up there too. But he started a year or two later than, in theory, in his career than Brady did, because Brady started his second year.
Yeah.
But Brady came out after his fourth year, where Rodgers, I think, came out after his third year and then played after his third season. Correct, Nate?
Yeah, something like that.
So, I mean, it would be
4 years, but I think you're right with 3.
And the other thing is Brady very infrequently misses games. I mean, he had that one season that he had the injury.
Yep.
Then he had the Deflategate suspension. Besides that, he doesn't really miss games.
No.
So that's the other thing. That'd be like if Eli Manning kept playing and playing and playing for another 5-6 years, because that guy never missed a start.
Right.
So that's where you kind of have to judge the longevity of his career and then the lack of injury throughout his career to kind of balance it out. So that doesn't surprise me. It's crazy that 300 regular season games.
Yeah.
And however many postseason games on top of it.
Yeah, I know he's played 2 full seasons of postseason games. Well,
I think that was
2
before
old
last year.
old regular season games.
Yeah.
All right. So
thanks, Jeremy, for providing all the content for that.
Yes.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Hey guys,
Yep.
I have to jump off. I got a sailor on his way to the ER. I got to go figure out what happened.
All right.
I will try to get back as quick as possible.
No worries.
Heat aren't meant to go in hot tubs. I'm just saying. Stay out of the jets.
Yeah, we know how things are down here, So, all right, I'll try to be on back on quickly.
All right, we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. So
now I have to really contribute.
Yeah. So
he's won almost 2 regular season worth of games in the postseason.
Yes. So now
and he's played 42 playoff games.
Yeah, that's a lot of games. All right.
So by the time the season ends, in theory, he'll have played over 350 games in his career.
Wow.
As a professional, as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah. And sort of a feel-good story. The Saints All-Pro defensive end Cam Jordan is donating $40,000 to the Second Harvest Food Bank to help with the Hurricane Ida relief. He's also doing $4 cameo videos for fans to raise awareness that 1 in 4 Louisiana children are experiencing hunger, but has gotten some flack for not donating more money. People on Twitter have attacked him saying that that's not enough. And, quote, Cam earns $16 million a year. His donation of $40,000 is the equivalent of someone who makes $100,000 a year donating $250. Is this the equivalent of no good deed goes unpunished?
It pretty much is.
He could have not donated anything and kept that money for hookers and blow.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean $40,000 is going to feed a lot of kids.
Yep.
But I guarantee all these people say, "Oh, he didn't donate enough," aren't willing to donate a penny.
Right.
It's those are the type of people that will complain, "Oh, he should have donated more money instead of instead of 40, he should have donated $1 million. Well, how much did you donate? Oh, well, I don't make that much, so I don't need to donate. That's where those people are going to go.
Yeah.
Not to get political, but that's like the people that say, "Oh, I hate the way things are running in our country." Well, who did you vote for? Oh, I didn't vote.
Yeah.
Yep. Very true.
All right, then shut the fuck up.
Do you think with this kind of flack will just make guys just so they won't donate at all? Just kind of.
I feel like the pros they're gonna keep doing what they do, and they're just gonna ignore the people. I mean, you gotta think, as a professional athlete, you got a fan base that loves you, and you got 31 other fan bases that hate you.
Right. Mm-hmm. And last about this, if you were put in this position, would you just rather make an anonymous donation instead, so that you wouldn't have to deal with all the haters? Instead of having your name out there that you donated, just saying, "Hey, there's an anonymous donor donated this," and that's that.
Well, I think he got kind of the notoriety because he's doing those $4 cameos, and if I recall, the proceeds from that is going all to the charity as well.
Yeah.
So he's not only donating the $40,000, he's also doing cameos to also help the foundation. So it's like people don't consider it that way. Like, oh, he's only donating 40. Well, now he's taking time out of his day to do all these cameos at a discounted price to help bump more money for the fundraiser.
I feel like he should just not donate to that charity again. There's thousands of charities that probably help with the exact same stuff. Donate to somebody else. Apparently they are ungrateful.
Well, no, it wasn't the charity.
It was like just people on Twitter. The Twitter haters.
Who cares? Live his life. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
But that's why I was asking if you would do it just anonymously, so that way you wouldn't have to deal with these people, kind of thing.
No,
I would probably donate again to somewhere else for less, or just I don't know.
Try to keep it quieter, kind of thing. That way it wasn't a big news thing.
Or just boast it up even higher and just be like, "Yeah, I donated $40,000 and I did this cameo and I did this.
Yeah.
This is the right thing to do.
How much have you donated?
Yeah. Right. I encourage everybody to go out there and donate whatever you can. That $40,000 was enough for me to donate. It it was enough so I could still pay my bills, make sure everything in my life is squared away. It's kind of like you don't know how much milk I put in my cereal. You don't know what he's got going on in his life.
Yep.
Exactly.
$40,000 is a significant amount of money.
Oh, I know. I could kill to be able to get my hands on $40,000 like that quick.
I'd take 2 hot dogs at the same time for $40,000. Right.
You heard it here first, boys.
I thought that's what you're doing Saturday night with Smitty.
No, we're not going to roast any hot dogs.
All right. So let's talk about another player that's playing tonight. Mike Evans became the first player in NFL history who began a career with 7 consecutive seasons of 1,000 yards receiving. With the Buccaneers' 44-27 victory over Atlanta Falcons last January 3rd, 2021. He entered 2020 alone with his boyhood idol, Randy Moss, as the only 2 players to ever open their careers with 6 consecutive 1,000 yards receiving seasons. Moss ended up not reaching 1,000 yards on his 7th season. With Brady still at the helm and Evans being one of his top targets, do we think that he will extend that record to 8 this year?
I do.
I think that's crazy that he still encompassed 1,000 yards when Jameis Winston was his quarterback.
Yeah.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
So the funny thing was, I think actually with Brady last year, he made it by 6 yards.
Well, because Brady likes to spread the ball.
Yes.
So the fact that he got 1,000 yards with a guy that spreads the ball as much as he does, that is pretty epic.
Yeah, that's gonna be the question. I could see that being his issue this year. Now that AB is gonna be there all year, Gronk's there all year. I mean, they have the other tight end that got hurt at the beginning of the season last year. They have so many weapons on that offense that, I mean, unless Brady throws for 50,000 yards this year, Evans might come up short.
There's a good chance. Do you think he will be affected by that? Do you think he's a better player to not really care about the stats so much?
By the way he was approaching this off season, I think as long as they're winning and they have a chance to go back and win a Super Bowl, he won't care about his numbers.
That's good. I hope that's the case.
Because he's already under a long-term contract. He doesn't have to prove anything. I think he's in year 2 of a 5-year deal or 4-year deal, something like that.
And
he renegotiated this off season. I say renegotiated. He got more money guaranteed, aka paid as a signing bonus.
Just
to lower to restructure to lower his cap hit, so they could re-sign some of the other players that their contracts had ran up, just to keep the team together.
I wish more players were that selfless.
Well,
go ahead. I know, say, I'm going to use my guy, Aaron Rodgers. Even though I know they restructured his contract and whatever, but it's like if he was aside, no, I'm going to be the highest paid quarterback and I don't care. Well, then clearly you don't want to win, because if you deserve the money, yes. But if you're willing to set aside that much money so that way your team is better and you can be a team player, then, I mean, that shows true leadership all over the place. So I think it's pretty epic and awesome of Evans to go through that and be like, you know what? No, restructure it lower. So that way I can get another ring and make more history and more records and, help the team. That's awesome.
Yeah, just take my same contract and spread it around over more years.
Didn't Manning do that a lot, and Breeze?
Brady did that a ton.
Brady did that a ton. Breeze always took a little bit of a pay cut because he liked the New Orleans.
Yeah.
But Manning always was a top dollar.
Oh,
yeah.
Paid high money.
Yeah, Breeze would take as little as he would keep less. He would keep taking less because he was giving hometown discounts because he wouldn't leave New Orleans. Once he was there, he's like, I ain't leaving. This is my home.
Because New Orleans took a risk on him after he had shoulder surgery, where the Miami almost took him, but Miami decided to go with Dante Culpepper instead.
Yep.
Because of the question about his shoulder, and I mean, the Chargers moved on from him to Phillip Rivers because they thought his shoulder was garbage.
Yep.
So I mean, they were the only team that took a risk on him when he was coming off that shoulder surgery. So I think he kind of felt indebted to them, saying, okay, you guys took a risk on me. I'm going to make it worth it to be here and really help this team win.
All right, well, talk about people that aren't willing to take a pay cut. On Tuesday, the Saints cut veteran running back Latavius Murray right before his $3 million salary became guaranteed because he wouldn't take a pay cut. Murray is coming off the most efficient season of his career, averaging 4.5 yards per carry and 656 rushing yards in 2019-2020. Murray filled in for injured Alvin Kamara and produced 307 total yards from scrimmage and 4 touchdowns. We all complain about the player that should have taken less money to stay, but then this shows that teams will cut you because they just don't want to pay you, even though you had signed a contract with them. So, do you think they should make as much money as they can while they can?
Nate, go ahead. I have some opinions on this one.
I don't know if I have my thoughts collected appropriately yet.
Okay, I'll go. So, if you are a top-tier player at your position, if you want to help the team win, you should be willing to take less money. If you're a backup, not a constant starter, someone whose shelf or career length is very undetermined because you're not the number one at your position on that team, you're not the top at the position in the league, your career easily could be blink of an eye, it's over.
Yep.
So a player like this should be a player that isn't paid top dollar should be the ones trying to get as much as they can for as long as they can, especially if they already are under a contract. Because guess what? Every time a player outplays his contract and wants more money, people say, oh, they're being greedy, especially if they're not a top-tier player. But then you have this side of the argument where, okay, if the team doesn't think you're living up to the contract, they're going to want to give you a pay cut. Because apparently he was outperformed by the rookie that they had brought in. So he was technically third on the depth chart behind Kamara and someone else. And I guarantee before he said he wouldn't take a pay cut, his agent had communications with other teams that were possibly looking for running backs if any of his current players that were on teams were going to be cut or something, to let them know.
Yeah.
And we've all seen what happened to the Baltimore Ravens running back team. So the news actually came out that he's not signing till after week 1.
Yeah.
He is going to wait till after week 1 or 2 goes, because the rate running backs get hurt in this league, it's very quick. I mean, it's not like he had a big salary either. I mean, he was getting paid as a backup running back salary.
Yeah.
So if players get hurt, they need someone in there, they're going to pay that much, maybe even more.
Well, the other thing, too, is Kamara's not injured this season.
Not yet.
So, I mean, clearly, yeah, he filled a need. And like you're saying, essentially he's being a backup because Kamara is the top horse in that stable. And, you know, at the least they could have been, you know, I'm sure the team was trying to talk about renegotiating, probably, you know, back loading some of the money or whatnot to him. But again, if you really want to play and you're a backup, then, you know, if the team doesn't see you as an overshining person to this roster, then cut him. Sorry, I keep getting distracted because Chris is like smiling down here, and I know he left, and I'm just like, why isn't he moving? So I keep getting distracted by that. But yeah, so I think, you know, he clearly feels like he's worth the money, and maybe he needs to humble himself. You know, what if no team decides to pick him up because they don't want to pay him that much, or they're willing to sign him or take him, but they're going to offer him significantly less? You know, then who's the asshole, right?
Yeah.
Is the Saints the asshole for cutting him right before he's going to make, what'd you say, $300 million or something, or $3 million?
$3 million.
So
Which
yeah,
is basically
so
chump change.
are they the asshole for cutting him the day before for $3 million, or is he the asshole for not restructuring so that way, you know, they can keep some other players around?
All right. Next. So, in dumb news today.
Did I send this one to you guys?
I think you did.
Because I saw this right before I did the final walkthrough. I was sitting there waiting, and I'm like, no, that can't be right. I clicked on it. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, Bengals rookie wide receiver Jamar Chase blames a case of the drops on the size and striping of his new balls. College balls are slightly smaller and have white stripes on both ends. Jamar sat out into the 2020 season, and he only says that him being a little rusty might have something to do with it, but it's not likely according to him. I don't know about you, but I've never had a problem catching any football, whether it was all brown or had white stripes on it, whether it was big, smaller, or whatever. So I don't see how this could be really a factor of like the color of it personally. But you're talking about a wide receiver who's in the NFL. There's a lot of deep passes for him, but most of those passes are 20 yards, so it shouldn't be that much different for him, should it?
My question, or my thought might be, he might have a depth perception issue, and because it's a solid tone, he can't decipher the depth, how close it is, how far away from him it is.
Without having the white color on there?
Yeah, without having a discrepancy in color. So that might be something with his eyes more than the fact is he's saying that because that's what he's seeing, but in theory, it's his eyes that
are lying to him.
Yeah. But my question is, why in this day and age, why aren't college and professional players using the same football?
That is a fantastic question.
Isn't it? Where's Chris when you need him?
And so I have a question for you all. We do a sports show on this, right?
Yeah.
This is a sports show.
Sports? What's sports?
Right. And I think we're specifically on football.
Yeah.
And when did talking about football turn into hearing stories from like your kindergartner about their day and how some kid put dirt in their hair? Like, it just sounds like a bunch of fucking babies pissing and moaning about stupid shit. Like numbers, the color of a fucking football.
Yeah, So
Really?
This is
so
what
the
happens
reason-
with dumb rules.
So the reason this came up was because this preseason he's had a lot of drops. He's been dropping a lot of passes, practice, preseason games, whatnot. And someone asked him why, if they think it's because he missed a year. And he went on the spiel about, the lines on a football.
Yeah.
So
the Bengals sent him to an ophthalmologist, right, to have his eyes looked at and see what might be the issue? Because, I mean, that's what it sounded like it should be, at least from what you're saying, Jeremy.
that would be my thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just taking a guess, but that would be what I would think the first thing you'd want to do is, hey, take him somewhere, get his eyes checked to make sure. I mean, because let's face it, we've all been able to fool that test for many of years.
Yeah.
There's a test.
I mean, we've all seen that. We've all seen the movie Space Cowboys.
Nope.
You've
Have
never
you
seen it,
the movie
Nate? All right, so that's your homework for this week, to watch it on the Plex, because it is on there.
You probably have to watch about the first 30 minutes of it, and then you'll get the reference.
Yeah, then you'll get the reference.
I have a busy week. I mean, I got Smitty coming, and then I go to Maine.
I bet Smitty will watch it with you.
Yeah, you and Smitty can curl up on the couch together, get your hot cocoa, and watch it. You'll be fine.
He shanked it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you're behind.
I don't know. I'm watching
How
it
am I
on.
ahead?
I don't know. I'm watching it on Peacock or some crap. I don't know.
Oh.
Maureen set it up.
Yeah, I just changed the channel that I was using, and it's like right in line with it. And like when you said he shanked it, I'm like, yeah, he did.
I'm watching the Chipotle commercial now.
Ooh, Chipotle.
All right, so in some bad news, former USC and New England Patriot fullback Sam Bam Cunningham died Tuesday in his home in Inglewood, California, according to USC. He was 71, so he was on the older side. It does happen. Cunningham.
That's how old I'm expected to live to.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even the saddest one that happened this week then.
Right. Cunningham, who was introduced into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1992, is widely recognized for helping speed up the process of integration in football programs across the South. Cunningham ran for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns as USC beat an all-white Alabama team to open the 1970 season. That was 51 years ago, sorry. That performance, coupled with those of his black teammates, was pivotal in Alabama coach Bear Bryant's decision to recruit black players. What they saw was the future, Cunningham told ESPN back in 2016. Their team was eventually going to be integrated. In 1971, Alabama had black players on scholarships for the first time and played for the national title. However, the Crimson Tide were routed 38-6 by Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. But the decade became a standout era for Bryant and the Crimson Tide as they went on to win 3 national championships. Cunningham was selected number 11 overall in 1973 draft by the Patriots and went on to play 9 seasons for the team. According to becoming the franchise all-time leading rusher. He was a Pro Bowl selection in 78 when the Patriots set an NFL record for rushing yards as a team with 3,165. That mark stood until 2019 when it was broken by the Baltimore Ravens. It is sad news to hear that somebody who did so much to further the integration of these schools to pass, but it is part of life, unfortunately. But because with this news, I actually learned that the Pats actually held a rushing record, which I did not know about. So it's sad to see him go for somebody who had done so much, and I just wanted to kind of recognize him as a person because he was part of that whole original movement, I guess would be a good way to put it. And to think that we're older. We're all in our 30s, and we think, 70s. That was a little while ago, but it wasn't that long ago. But when I did, I was like, that was over 50 years ago now. That makes it feel so much like longer once I did the numbers.
I think the thing that can kind of take away from something of somebody dying for what most would feel is young, but he lived such an amazing, an amazing life, and he did things that, nobody else has done. Like, and the fact that his name, his legacy will live on well beyond his life. That's just, there's no better way of being understanding or capable of allowing yourself to go, before 80.
Oh yeah. Other sad news. I forgot about this. This happened last week. It felt like it was last week, Jeremy. I think you were the one to put this in here, right?
Yeah, I just added this. Happened this week, I think.
Former NFL wide receiver David Patton, who won 3 Super Bowl who won 3 Super Bowl titles with the New England Patriots, was killed in a motorcycle crash last Thursday. Actually, right after we got off the air.
I saw that.
Yeah, outside of Columbia, South Carolina, according to Richland County Coroner something Rutherford, and he was 47. And I saw that when I woke up the morning. They said it happened last night, and I looked at the timestamps when the first news came out. It was literally 20 minutes after we ended our show. The first reports came out.
Right around either we had just gotten off the show, and I had noticed it, and I was like, "Holy crap!" That would have been significant to report first thing on the show. But
yes,
some things just don't work out.
Yep.
Though, I don't know if either of you have been to Columbia, South Carolina. Nobody knows how to drive there. That place sucks.
No one knows how to drive in South Carolina in general.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like when it snows down there, Jeremy?
Oh, everything shuts down when it snows.
Except for you. You're going to be the only one just scooting around. Or Subarooing around. All right, so let's get to Jeremy's bets of the week because, it's the beginning of the football season, and he's always our guy who knows all the lines and knows where to put our money.
He's the only one with a gambling addiction. Yes, you're just so nice not to say that.
And we just help guy giving him money to put our names on it.
No, I just dumped quite a bit of money in DraftKings yesterday. So
hey, if you guys would have listened to me at the Super Bowl, we could have walked away in the plus. But only Travis was with me. The rest of you guys were against.
Yep.
I don't even remember what happened. Who won the Super Bowl? Was it Tampa Bay?
It was Tampa Bay.
It was
and
Tampa
none
Bay.
of you guys believe that Tom Brady was going to get another one.
Who they play?
Mahomes and the 49 in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
Mahomes and the who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was mostly they just played Mahomes.
I have my choice.
It was mostly they just played Mahomes because Mahomes was running around like a fool.
Yeah, Mahomes was the only one doing anything on that team that day. But okay, so the
Tampa Bay has a male cheerleader.
Do they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's pause. Let's wait. I gotta replay the game. Replay the last play.
Yeah, I don't see a male cheerleader.
No, there's a male cheerleader. They're showing the other angle right now on my screen. But next time Prescott rolls to the left, you'll see a male cheerleader kind of centered or left of their little cheer squad.
Oh, no idea.
Oh, scroll.
All right.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, I see him now.
Yep.
Are you guys that far behind?
Yeah, he rolled to his left.
He's right behind the little marker.
He was behind the marker, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So I picked 3 games. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, with week 1, it's very iffy because teams aren't really determined what they are. But Carolina is favored by 4 over the Jets. I'd go with Carolina with the points. You throw $100 on it, you're making $190.90. So you make $90.90 profit on 100.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets are very limited on their defense right now. And as we know, the Carolina Panthers quarterback is Sam Bradford, who used to be the Jets quarterback last year. So he may be out for blood against them. And also one of his big receivers from the Jets, who used to play with him there, also is in Carolina as well. So they already have that chemistry built. So maybe a good hookup. And I mean, 4 points isn't too hard to cover in the NFL. If this game would have started later, I would have said take Dallas +9. Because I figured this game was going to be close.
Oh, and he doinked it.
But I wanted to pick him to win. I wanted to pick them to win straight up. I would have picked them to win with the spread, because I don't know what that would be off the top of my head. It would be a pretty good payout if you took Dallas +9.
Yeah, as long as the game stayed close.
Yeah, which it seems to be doing that. Okay, so the next game I'm taking is the Seattle Seahawks, favored by 2.5 over the Indianapolis Colts. So with the Colts quarterback just coming back off of injury and COVID, they're missing a few linemen. He hasn't really had time to build chemistry with his receivers. They're missing their top receiver in T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
And Seattle's a team that starts off fast at the beginning of the season. They start off full go and fade as the season goes. So, 2.5 points, it's a field goal. That's an easy spread. The next one is the upset of the week for me.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders +3.5. If you put 100 on the Seahawks to beat the Colts, you'd get $86.95 on top of your investment. So the next game I'm taking is the Las Vegas Raiders underdogs at +3.5 over the Ravens.
Wow. With
the Ravens losing not one, not two, but all three of their running backs. They lost one of their starting cornerbacks as well today.
Oh, really?
That team is getting quickly ravished by injuries.
Yeah.
So, Vegas is a team that they were starting to turn the corner. They play in a very hard division.
Yes,
they play with the Chiefs. They are one of the only two teams to beat, or one of the only three teams to beat the Chiefs in the last few years.
Now, can you actually place bets there in South Carolina?
I have no idea.
Okay, so if you are able to make a bet, and you can only pick one of these three, which one are you going to try to bet on?
I'd probably go with the Panthers over the Jets. I don't think the Jets really have the firepower yet. I haven't seen much of them. That team it has a quarterback, but besides that, they don't have much right yet, and it is rookie quarterback. So,
well, there you go, Smitty. You need to pick the Panthers this weekend. We'll go up to New Hampshire, and you can place your bet because it's just probably him and I watching.
No, I think I still have us going. Yeah, I have us going.
Oh.
All right, because I had to make sure that everything's being seen. All right, so let's get to our picks for the week.
Sweet. Best part.
Yeah.
That's why I come every week.
Oh, we know.
You need one of us to read off Smitty's picks?
I will, and we're going to have to get Chris's because apparently he is lost. I asked Gail for her picks, but she did not get me them before I came downstairs, so we'll have to get theirs. Jaron, do you have Mo's?
I do not. I'm texting her right now.
That's okay. And Nate, do you have Amanda's or no?
I don't. She came home partially sick, so.
So we'll get
just took some NyQuil, and she's probably knocked the fuck out.
That's okay.
I got Maureen's.
All right. So this year I did fix it so that way Nate's on top of Amanda, I'm on top of Gail, and Jeremy's on top of Mo.
I should be on top of Smitty.
Well, didn't you get the memo on my team name?
I thought Smitty was the top.
Nate top, Smitty bottom?
or is it vice versa?
Smitty top, Nate bottom? I don't know.
I think it's Smitty top, Nate bottom.
All right, Nate.
It's Smitty top, Nate bottom, but Smitty doesn't get the reference because he hasn't watched the league yet.
No. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's start this thing off. Nate, who are you picking? Sunday at 1:00. The first game is the Seattle Seahawks at the Indianapolis Colts. Who are you gonna go with?
So week 1, I am going to play fast and loose with who I pick because it really can go either way. I am going to see what Carson Wentz can do against Seattle's defense. I am going with the Colts.
You're going with the Colts. All right, I am going with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think he's ready yet. He just got back there, like Jared was saying. He's like a pick to lose. So
no.
Yeah, so take the Seahawks over them.
They're 2.5 favored.
Yeah, so Jared, who are you gonna go with?
Well, so as Nate knows, there is a multiple chats on the pre-mentioned radio station that does picks. So I purposely stopped listening when they started talking about their picks.
Oh, I would have tuned in even more.
Oh, see, I don't want to have that kind of any kind of outside influence. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks because of everything I mentioned when picking them with the spread to win for the bets.
Yeah. All right, Nate, what did Smitty pick for the Seattle Seahawks game?
He picked the Seahawks.
He picked the Seahawks. And Jerry, where did Mo go?
Seahawks.
She went with the Seahawks. All right. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. And Deshaun Watson is not playing as far as they are concerned.
Nope. Was it Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod
Taylor. Oh, I got the first pick. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
I am going to go with the upset and go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jerry, who are you going to go with?
I am also going with the Jaguars.
You are also going with the Jaguars. Where did Smitty go?
He went with the Texans.
He went with the Texans. Jerry, where did Mo go?
The Jags.
The Jags. Nate, who are you going with?
I am going to go with the home team on this one.
You got to stick with your hubby?
It is the rookie's first regular season game. I want to see him play before I start thinking about the Jags.
All right. So next we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons, Jeremy.
Oh, let's go. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons. Where did Smitty go?
Eagles.
He went with the Eagles. Fly, Eagle, fly. Jeremy, where did Mo go?
The Falcons.
Falcons.
Every time you say, where did Mo go? I want to say, I don't know where.
Nate, where are you going?
I'm going with the home team again. I'm going with the Falcons.
Another home team. 3 home teams back to back. Well, 4 if we include tonight. This is a hard pick for me, but I'm going to go with the Falcons. Usually they don't lose right off the bat. Next we
you
have...
also got to remember they got Kyle Pitts.
They do. Los Angeles Chargers are going to the Washington football team.
This is a hard one.
This is, but where did Smitty go?
Smitty went with the WFT.
The WFT. Jerry, how about Mo?
Washington as well.
She went with Washington. Nate, who you going with?
Same.
The football team. I am going to go with the Chargers. Jerry, who are you going with?
I want to go with the Chargers, but you picked them, so now I think I'm going to go with Washington.
You're going to go with Washington. So that'll be my upset win and put me ahead for everybody.
The only time he'll ever be ahead.
Okay, Mo would have the first pick on this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Buffalo.
She's going blue and red.
Buffalo Bills it is. Nate, going with the home team again?
Yeah. I assure you, this is not on purpose. It's just the home team seem like they make the most sense at this point.
I am also going the Buffalo Bills on that one. Jared, where are you going? Same.
Bills.
And where did Smitty go, Nate?
I'm sorry. They just scored. He went with the Bills.
All right. Next, Nate, you're up. The San Francisco 49ers are going to Detroit.
Come on, you won't pick the home team. No balls.
I actually am going to go with San Francisco on that one.
He's picking an away team.
Yeah.
I am also picking the San Francisco 49ers. Jared, where are you going?
I'm going with the Niners.
Go with the Niners.
He could still throw the ball.
Brady? Oh, yeah. Who was that? 81.
AB.
That's 8. Jeez.
That's what I'm saying. That might be the Antonio Brown might take too many targets away from
everybody else.
Godwin.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have Godwin, and he's got some points tonight, but not as many as I had hoped for.
He even called for it too, and as soon as he called for it, he turned the Jets on.
Oh yeah. Where is Smitty going with?
Lions.
He is going with the Lions. Jerry, who's Mo picking?
What game are we on?
San Francisco 49ers.
He's going with the Niners.
Niners. All right. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Travis, who are you taking?
Ooh.
'Cause I feel like nobody asks you because you're always asking, so I would ask you.
Yeah, it's nice to be asked once in a while.
You're welcome.
You know what? I am going to go with the Bengals. I've heard some weird news coming out of the Vikings camp, so they've had some problems up there. So I'm going to go with the Bengals. Jerry, where are you going?
I am going to go with the Vikings.
The Vikings. Who's Smitty going with up there?
Smitty agrees with your brother.
He's going with the Vikings.
Yep.
Jerry, who's Mo going with?
The Vikings.
The Vikings. Nate, who you going with?
I'm sticking with the NFC North. I'm going with the Vikings.
Going with the
They're
Vikings.
the only team in the North that I feel is going to be at all in competition for first place.
I've heard so many weird things coming out of them, and where people would get hurt left and right, it's possible that the Bengals are just going to trounce all over them. All right.
Now, my only issue with Joe Burrow coming off that knee injury, it takes him half a season to get back into the flow of it.
It could,
I don't care what he says.
And you don't really know exactly what you're going to get in the Bengals right now.
Right.
I just feel like it's still so too soon to really like them and Jacksonville to me are the two teams until I see something like a current season, like a regular season game body of work on them.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't pick them.
All right. Next up, Jeremy, we have the New York Jets at the Carolina Panthers.
I already told you this one. I'm taking Carolina.
Taking Carolina with the points. Who's Smitty going with?
Every part of me wants to tell you he picked the Jets, so that we put the Jets on there and he gets a loss. But I feel like that's grimy, so he's taking the Panthers.
Well, it's documented, so he can say, "Hey, I said it was this team." So.
And I could look back through the chat, and I'd be like, "Nate lied to me. We can never trust Nate again."
Nate gets a loss because of it.
Yes.
Just so you know, I could remove his thing from the chat. Say.
Yes, it would just, but it would only remove it from your chat, from your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the person that sent it can remove it from everyone's.
All right. So who is Mo going with, Jeremy?
She's going with the Panthers.
Panthers. Nate, who you going with? The Jets? Jets?
I co-sign with the Panthers.
Well, we got Panthers across the board as of right now until we get everybody else's picks. Jeremy. Nope. Next is Smitty's.
I was going to say, I thought I just picked first.
Yeah, the last 1 o'clock game. The Arizona Cardinals are at the Tennessee Titans. Who's Smitty going with?
Titans.
Titans. Jeremy, who's Mo going with?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Nate, who you going with? You got one of each.
This is a hard one.
Yeah, they're two very different teams.
Yes.
And they're both different, but different good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This could be actually a really good game to watch.
It could.
Yeah. Shit. You know what? I'll go with the home team. I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Going with the Titans. I am also going with the Titans, and let's hope this game is televised. Jeremy, who you going with?
If it's not, I could still watch it though.
I am also going with the Titans.
Going with the Titans. All right, next, Mo's up. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. Do the Browns have a shot in Mo's eyes?
She's going with the Chiefs.
He's going with the Chiefs. Nate, are you picking your Brown boys all the way?
I want to. But
he's willing to pick the Browns over the Chiefs, but not willing to pick the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are on a roll, over the Chiefs.
Right.
Hey.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, I have more faith in the Browns than I do Tampa Bay.
No, that's the old Tampa Bay. That's the pre-Brady Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I think it's more out of spite than anything else. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs because it is the first game. It's the home opener. I am going with the home team.
I am also going with the Chiefs. Jeremy, who you going with?
I am going with the Chiefs as well.
Chiefs as well. Is Smitty picking the Browns?
No, he picked the Chiefs, but now I really want to pick the Browns.
Too late. You already picked them.
What can Brown do for you?
Yeah. So next, Nate, you get the first pick. The Miami Dolphins are playing the New England Patriots with the new QB of Mac Jones.
Dolphins.
You know what? if he wins this game, I will change my mind. But as of this point, I do not think New England Patriots are ready for the Dolphins. The Dolphins came on strong at the end of last year, and they seem not to be slowing down. So I ain't gonna go with the Dolphins. Jerry, who are you gonna go with?
Take this as you want.
I'm going to the Patriots before Nate talks.
Well, okay, good. So I've been to 2 Patriots games, and both times the Patriots won.
This is true.
Take that for however you want. And you already know who he picked. You don't even need to ask.
So Smitty picked the Patriots. Come on.
So Smitty picked the Patriots because he always picks the Patriots. And who did Mo go with?
The Patriots as well.
The Patriots as well.
So my feeling on that game is we know what Miami is. We know what Tua is. We know what his limitations are as a quarterback, at least as of last year.
Yep.
Miami doesn't know what Mac Jones is yet. And that's the hardest part about going as a rookie quarterback for the first 2 to 3 weeks, where especially if they pretty much they play in the preseason, but the game's not really they don't really show all their cards.
Right.
I think Miami has a more all-around balanced team than the Patriots have right now. I mean, Miami's defense was on lock last season, and they pretty much are the same defense. I think they're going to be able to handle a rookie, and, I mean, don't get offended or anything, but do you guys really have any wide receivers?
Yeah, actually, they picked up a few. And they picked up a lot of tight ends.
They picked up a couple of good tight ends, and they picked up, I think, 1 or 2 wide receivers, but they're not top-tier guys.
So my thought is it's going to be a lot of running the ball. It's going to be New England's four-headed backfield. Just you never know what they're going to throw at them.
Yeah, I still don't have faith in New England at this point. I think I need to see more body of work out of at least one regular season game to see if they're worth picking from here out.
All right, next. I get to pick. The Denver Broncos are at the New York Giants.
Who are you?
This crapshoot, I am going to go with the Denver Broncos. Jerry, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Broncos. That defense is still good.
All right, who's Smitty going with?
He went the Giants.
He went with Giants.
I almost want to text him and see if that's a mistake.
Too late. Jerry, who's Mo going with?
With the Giants as well.
With the Giants as well. Nate, who you going with?
Who's Denver's quarterback right now?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, Bridgewater.
He's not horrible.
Nope.
It's that Denver's defense against that Giants front line that's decimated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going with Denver.
All right. In the last game at 4:25, the Green Bay Packers are at the New Orleans Saints.
Con, you want to take the home team?
It's you.
Yes, Jeremy.
Go
Pack, go, or the Saints. The Saints come marching.
I never picked all the home teams, did I?
No.
I didn't pick all the home teams. I think I'm balanced.
You did for the first whole stretch. I'm going to take the Packers.
Going with the Pack. Who's Smitty going with?
He agrees.
The Pack.
Although I do think it is going to be a closer game than
who's Mo going
people
with?
think. She's also going with the Packers.
She's going with the Pack. Nate, who you going with?
I think this is the most I've seen people pick the Packers on this show so far. Yeah. I agree with the Packers.
Although I'm saying it's going to be a close game.
Because
Winston can throw the ball.
It's Green Bay's defense is the only. They're generally not great.
Yeah, and Winston can throw the ball. Although he does throw a lot of interceptions, he can throw the ball.
He's really good at throwing it to the other team. So I am also going with the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, he did eclipse 5,000 yards one season as the Bucs quarterback. So
right.
Yeah.
He can throw the ball. He isn't very good at decision making.
Jack should have thrown that away.
All right. So next we have Smitty picking the Chicago Bears at the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams.
Jerry, who's Mo going with?
Rams.
Rams. Nate, who you going with?
Same.
The Rams. I am also going with the Rams. Jeremy, who you going with?
I'm going to go with Matt Stafford. I don't think I ever said that in my life.
Matt Stafford and the Rams?
That would be correct.
All right. Last but not least, Mo is picking first. The Monday night game at 8:15. Baltimore Ravens are at the Las Vegas Raiders.
She's taking the Raiders.
She's taking the Raiders. Ooh.
Didn't I tell you that was the
That's
underdog
the
you
upset.
picked this
Yep,
weekend?
the underdog pick of the week. Nate, who you going with?
I am going to go with. You know what? I'm going with the Raiders.
Raiders it is.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about all these injuries to Baltimore. The Raiders really aren't talking about injuries. And again, they're home.
Yep. All right. I am also going to the Raiders.
Did I persuade everyone to pick Raiders this week?
I think you did. So are you going with Raiders?
I am going with the Raiders.
Going just pick of the week? You don't put money on that bet?
I think I got $5 in DraftKings still sitting there from last season.
There you go. $5 is $5. Who is Smitty going with?
He went with the Ravens.
He went with the Ravens.
Feel like he didn't know all that we know now, which
that's
I get.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
All right. And next we have our next Thursday night game.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So Thursday, September 16th at 8:20 p.m., we have the New York Giants going to the Washington football team.
I feel like the home team's going to get all the picks on this one.
Yes. Who you going, Nate?
Yeah.
he agrees.
The football team?
Yeah. Yep, that works.
That's where I'm going. Jeremy, where are you going?
The football team.
The football team.
According to me, they're going to go, what, 2-0?
Yep. Is Smitty, did he make a pick for next Thursday?
He did not. Like me, he probably forgot that we do Thursday nights.
Yeah. Jeremy, did you get Mo's pick for next Thursday?
She did. She is picking the football team as well.
Football team 2 weeks in a row. Wow. All right, guys. I think that is all she wrote. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we end this thing?
It's very difficult to how to close a show, isn't it?
It is sometimes. Especially against
For me, that's always the most difficult thing is how do I end this thing?
Yeah.
So I think we should end this with the fact is we got 20 seconds left in the first half of the first official regular season football game of the NFL season.
Yep.
And currently Tampa Bay's up 21-16, but I think Dallas is within field goal range, but they're also facing a 4th and 31.
Yep.
Smitty picked the home team for next Thursday.
So Smitty is going with the Washington football team.
Hmm.
All right. All right, guys.
Oh, hang on.
Bye, everybody.
That's all, folks.
Ooh, a 60-yarder.